Kings, queens, and football dreams. Who will be crowned tonight?
And Tigers, Hawks, and Hounds, oh my.
Friday Night Lights starts now.
Live from the KBJR studio, this is Friday Night Lights, only on Northern News Now.
Hello and welcome to Friday Night Lights Week 6. Daniel,
Unreal.
Week 6. That means only 2 more Friday Night Lights.
Oh, don't say
Where
that.
in the world is time gone? It's also October. Hello. And yeah, hello to all of you at home. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alexis Bass.
And I'm Daniel Chiarelli. I think you mean Spooktober right there. Believe it or not, we are nearing the end of the regular season, but no end in sight for us tonight with all the games on the schedule. Bass, where do we start off?
Oh snap, I'll let you know. It's homecoming in the Igloo as the seniors were honored pregame while Hibbing comes to town sitting at 2-3 so far this year. First drive for the Blue Jackets and quarterback Benny Galley is picked off by ESCO senior corner Jack Burstadt. They take over deep into Hibbing territory. And off the turnover, backup QB Easton Harker gets the play action going, faking out our cameraman. That's Daniel Chiarelli right there. Meanwhile, Graham Hartleb is fumbling and stumbling through the tackles in the end zone. ESCO goes up 7-0 after Hibbing punt. ESCO on the move again. This time, it's Brody Lilo. Lilo and Stitch on the jet sweep. He takes it into the pylon and scores another rushing TD. ESCO now up by 2 scores. Hibbing's offense struggling, so they attempt a field goal.
Where'd the ball go?
The kick is tipped and blocked. Oh, snap, the line, and sophomore Ben Schmitz takes it all the way to the house. A 70-yard return for ESCO puts them up 21-0. The defense does not allow a single point as ESCO shuts out the Blue Jackets by a final score of 35-0.
And this week's game of the night features 2 powerhouse football teams right in our backyard. The 4-1 Hermantown Hawks playing in front of a sold-out crowd for senior night, taking on the upstart Duluth East Greyhounds. Those Greyhounds trying to end a bit of a slide while Hermantown looks to win its 3rd straight contest. And on the very first play from scrimmage, it's last week's big dog Martin Sleen hitting the edge. He scores quicker than you can say. Hermantown Hawks. They throw the first punch. All of a sudden, it's 7-0. And on the very next possession for Hermantown, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's mean Martin Sleen, the rushing machine. His jersey's still clean. The end zone is seen. Okay, I'm done.
Wow,
Hawks go up 14-0. But there's another big dog on the field tonight. Duluth East, Michael Lewis, who the entire Hawks defense can barely stop. Just a force out there. Greyhounds would cash in eventually and make it 14-6. But Hermantown goes back on the attack. And of course, they give it to Sleen. Just kidding. They give it to Grant Johnson. He's about to run me over. He chooses the end zone instead. I appreciate that. I don't. Now it's 21-6. The Hawks rushing attack has been unstoppable these last few weeks. Hermantown moves to 5-1 with a 56-12 win over the Greyhounds.
Of course, to be reckoned with. Well, the Pine City Dragons looking for their first win at Proctor Day. And this one was off to a slow start. A failed fake punt attempt by the Rails in the second sets the Dragons up to make their first strike. They'll take over on the 26-yard line as junior running back Evan Jones, who will get the first points of the game. And Pine City goes up 7-0, and then an interception puts the ball right back in their hands. And from the 2, number 17, Logan Kolecki charges into the end zone. Extra point is good. It's 14-0. It may not have been the house of the Dragons, but they sure played like it. Pine City gets their first win of the season in shutout fashion, 22-0.
And next up, it's homecoming for the Hunters as well as they welcome Cloquet into town. Second quarter action, Dion Bergner. This is Hermantown scoring again.
We'll just watch it again.
I mean, they scored so many touchdowns, it's hard to watch. Here's ESCO scoring again. I think this might be our montage. We're giving a bit of a spoiler to the people. We'll come back to Denfeld in a second, but there was tons more scores across the state of Minnesota today. Over in the 9-man ranks, the Mountain Iron Buell Rangers cannot be stopped. I dare someone to try to stop them. They scored 78 points and moved to 5-0. Their counterpart, the Cherry Tigers, also victorious tonight over Northwoods 47-12. The Grand Rapids Thunderhawks had an upset win tonight by just 1 point, defeating the North Branch Vikings 29-28. And one of the final undefeated teams in our region fell tonight as Moose Lake Willow River took down International Falls 38-32.
And over the bridge in Sparty Party Nation, Superior faced off against Hudson. Hudson with the early lead, but the Spartans go on the attack with this dime to Beckett Selden, setting up first and goal. And from the 2, it's quarterback Tanner Lino, who keeps it himself and crosses the goal line just like that. We're tied at 7 with just 20 seconds to go in the first. Raiders say, hey, we can do that too. They send running back Aiden Jamison into the trench, and he gets 6. Hudson leading 14-7. The Raiders will rob any hope that Spartans had of getting their first win of the season. They take this one 48-28, the final.
And we move right down Highway 2 where the homecoming king and queen were crowned at Northwestern tonight as they battled Bloomer. Shout out Josh Hansen and Francesca Germano. But let's get to these highlights because there is a lot of them. We start with the Tigers up 16, thanks in large part to their ground game. And who better than Cooper Lawton to add one more? Less than a week after his dad's inducted into the UMD Hall of Fame, he puts the Tigers up by 22. But it's not just the goal line carries for Lawton. This one is just over 30 yards out as he showcases that speed. No one's able to chase him down.
Kurt Wiese?
He scores his 3rd touchdown of the first quarter, but in the second quarter, it was about that Tigers defense. Junior Riley Erickson blowing this play up. Ball ends up on the ground, and who's going to pick it up?
The big dog!
Sophomore Mason Chell. The big man runs more than half the field before finally diving into the end zone. Everyone in the black and gold loving it. They hold a 42-zip lead, and following an interception by Camden Kroll, he steps right in at quarterback, and is this what I think it is? A Tigers passing touchdown, and it is. Kroll finds Tyson Teal, who makes the tough grab, puts Northwestern up 48 at halftime. Tigers offense would slow down just a little bit, but the defense stayed strong as they pick up a 64-0 victory over Bloomer.
A lot of shutouts tonight.
And elsewhere across Wisconsin, the Hayward Hurricanes took down the Ashland Ordockers by a final score of 28-8, while the Spooner Rails keep chugging down those tracks. They're now 4-3 with a 35-21 win over Barron.
Week 6, Daniel.
In the books.
What score would you rate this week?
You know, one football play, everyone knows the rules. I'll give it a 9.3, but to make it a perfect 10, we got to throw some college football into the mix.
In classic FNL fashion, we wheezy on over to Bulldog Country to check in on Kurt Wiese and his dog pack, plus our very favorite part of the show, so stay locked right here on Friday Night Lights. Welcome back. We hit pause in the high school ranks for now and jump up to the college ranks over at Molassie Stadium, where the vibes at practice this week were definitely high for Kurt Wiese and his Bulldogs after their no-mercy win over the Southwest Minnesota State Mustangs on Saturday. Do you remember the score of that one, Daniel?
I do. It was something along the lines of 62 to zippo. But now it's onward and upward. Rinse and repeat against last year's conference champs, number 25 Augustana, for some college football Saturday. But first, a little recap of last Saturday. It was hustling between homecoming, Hall of Fame inductees, and of course, head coach Kurt Wiese earning his 100th win in the maroon and gold. He's just the 3rd ever head coach to reach that mark and did it in just a decade. And with only 24 losses during that time, his win percentage sits at just above 80%. But more impressive than that, that puts him 3rd overall in all of Division II. And it came in great fashion, according to Wiese, with the underclassmen getting a little slack in their leash during the game, and the team's vets were loving it as well.
Yeah, it's super fun, especially when you can get all the younger guys in. I think Coach Wiese mentioned we had like a record 84 guys played or something like that. With the new redshirt rule and stuff, being able to get all the freshmen in, the young guys who usually don't get too many reps on game days, it's super cool to give them that experience.
Our guys understand that this is a game where we're going to play a top-end team, and we have a lot of respect for Augustana. Traveling down to Sioux Falls, you know, odds are we're going to end up with a good crowd, and we'll travel well down there as well.
Now, Augustana is coming off a heartbreaking loss to Moorhead, much like the Bulldogs back in week 2, so they'll be looking to redeem themselves at 1 p.m. for kickoff in Sioux Falls tomorrow afternoon.
Well, Daniel, remember how you told me last week you had your alarm set for this very moment?
Of course.
I feel like this week could be same story, different Friday.
It certainly is. I'm never going to miss an opportunity to pop off with the Alexis Bass. The Alexis Bass. So let's hear it this week.
Open up your Webster Dictionary, folks. It may be a little dusty from your shelf, but look up pop off, and this is what you'll see. He may be an underclassman, but he's showing veteran moves. Sophomore Mason Chell with the scoop and score, running more than half the field, takes a major splash into Tiger territory. That's a whole lot. That is not a Tigers player. We are just not having the right videos going on tonight. But anyways,
I got you covered,
the
Bass.
pop-off play goes to Mason Chell from Northwestern. We
all saw that big man touchdown.
Yeah,
exactly.
the big man touchdown.
And don't worry.
I know who's the big dog of the night before we even get there.
Wow.
The October Employee of the Month,
Okay,
the crown
let's
can
all
just
settle down. It's
be-
not about me. We'll head right back to beautiful Maple, Wisconsin. This time, there we go. Now we're actually in Maple. The first big dog across the bridge in Wisconsin. Cooper Lawton was running wild all over Bloomer. The senior had an unofficial 174 rushing yards
You hear
in
that,
just
Crazy?
the first quarter. Thanks to iFan for those numbers. I'm hoping they're correct. He also scored 3 touchdowns in the first half and some 2-point conversions as well. Mr. Lawton could do no wrong tonight for Northwestern. He is the Week 6 big dog of the night.
It all belonged to Northwestern Tigers.
But we can go back to Denfeld. Here we go. Tay Mans and the Hunters, they took down the Lumberjacks. We were going to slip it in towards the end of the show. They
For sure.
took down the Lumberjacks by 16
38.
points, 38-22.
22. Can you believe that? One more Friday left, and then we've got a Wednesday. And then that's a wrap of a regular season,
I don't want to
Daniel.
think about it.
Oh, look at him.
I do want to think
Ryan
about this
Pascal,
touchdown.
take
Number
it all the way to
34.
the house.
Oh yeah, I just love to see it. And without a doubt, I seriously can't believe there's not a lot of time left in Friday Night Lights. The playoffs are soon. We can start to see
It's
teams
like yesterday,
figure
I
out
feel like.
their seedings, and more good news for the people at home. If you want to rewatch The Big Dog or any of the fun tonight, spread on over to our sports page at northernnewsnow.com. And of course, if you have any scores at home, feel free to send them our way by phone, email, or carrier pigeon. Just find a way to get the scores over to Northern News
Yeah,
Now.
maybe send in a bottle and Lake Superior. I don't know, might not get here in time. But we'll be here next week and the week after. Thanks for
course.
watching. Have a wonderful weekend full of more football. And the wise words of Tom Hansen. Peace, smile, and Northland.